Hello again. My continuing investigation into the apocalypse continues. You'll be pleased to know that I've decoded more video files from within the military base where the virus creator Wayland Forth was about to be attacked by the infected Brigadier General. Looking at the new footage, I see a laboratory stocked with all kinds of weapons and probing equipment, supposedly all prepared for testing the super soldier's new healing ability. And stood in the middle of the room is the inventor of the healing virus himself, Wayland Forth, looking frantically from the dead resurrected super soldier, restrained by the other two nearly naked soldiers, to the dead general who disturbingly climbs to his feet, a broad smile creeping across his face as he launches himself at Wayland. Inches before the general's hands grasp Wayland's throat, one of the two super soldiers that were restraining Sergeant Jones lets go and manages to grab the general's arm, but due to his super strength rips it clean off, and what's left of the general flies tumbling into a barrel of what appears to be...
acid? Why on earth is there an open vat of acid in here?
You wouldn't believe some of the tests they had lined up for us.
Hey, I can't hold this one much longer.
The super soldier restraining Sergeant Jones lets out a cry as Jones bites a strip out of his forearm, then promptly vomits out blood. He roars, seemingly frustrated, and pulls ever harder towards Wayland. It looks like he's holding a tiger by the tail. Meanwhile, the remaining super soldier named Guns casually unhooks a .500 Magnum from a wall mounting. Most of Jones's head explodes and he falls limp to the floor.
Living dead? Shoot for the head. That's Zombie 101.
His colleague looks up at him open-mouthed.
It's lucky you're a good shot, Guns. Oh man, that was Jones. Can you believe he was trying to bite me? Oh shit, his face is growing back.
Listen guys, we have to contain this here before it spreads, but we can't leave him in here with all these weapons lying around.
Well, the acid seems to have worked. Smithy, chuck him in that.
As the super soldier picks up his faceless colleague, Wayland, examining the barrel of acid, discovers a disturbing property of his healing disease. The barrel was starting to overflow with a pink mass. As he peers closer, he sees the mass is actually made up of thousands of pieces of flesh, writhing and floating around, morphing into weird lizard-like mutations. Like a cannibal's cauldron, all sorts of body parts were surfacing and sinking, even climbing on top of one another. One of the general's feet, with a tiny body of Jones protruding from it, was climbed on by one of the general's hands, and small rodent-sized versions of Jones, all writhing, trying to get out of the barrel.
Guns, what exactly are you?
We are Superman! Wow, that acid's really messing the general up.
No, it isn't. The acid is breaking apart the body, but even so, the cells are still regenerating.
Just before Smithy, carrying the undead soldier, reaches the barrel, he is tripped up by an arm. The arm that the soldier had ripped clean off the infected general, which had the healing organism inside and had been silently regenerating, fixing what was missing of its host, the rest of the body. The tiny muscular body, barely the size of a rat, lugged the arm behind it and had managed to fling itself around Smithy's legs. The two soldiers crash into a plastic barrel, spilling acid, undissolved body chunks, and thousands of tiny mutated men all over the floor. The miniature army swarms over Smithy like a pink blanket, tearing into him, ferociously ripping at his flesh and greedily eating him alive, like starving wolves. Jones, the eyeless soldier, manages to find Smithy's head and starts gouging at his eyes, ravidly shoving pieces of Smithy into his newly formed mouth.
Come on, we have to quarantine the lab.
Roger that.
Is there an alarm?
Yeah, behind the vat.
Forget it. Hold the door shut, Superman. Hey, you there. You're a scientist, no?
Actually, I'm General Major Lab Scientist.
We need to lock this area down now.
Brigadier General.
You can't just demand that. What's the contamination rate?
Coming under the door.
Shit, there's no time.
I mean, what's your rank? You certainly aren't the Brigadier General.
Smithy's just picked up a bazooka, sir.
Run!
What the devil's going on? Where's the Brigadier General?
Demands the scientist as the Brigadier General's face hits the wall beside him like a pizza and slowly slides down. Horror creeps into the man's own face as the madly smiling Smithy launches into him. A lobby security file shows Wayland and the Superman rushing in and barring the double doors behind them, shocking the attractive blonde woman at the front desk.
Have you got the keys to this building?
Yeah. But under what authority?
He's the new Brigadier General.
Says who?
Well, read it.
Grab her, Superman. We have to set up a perimeter.
Other security footage shows how the two infected supermen rip apart personnel limb from limb, ripping off heads and sucking the insides as if they were shrimp. The smaller mutated soldiers appearing to be even more bloodthirsty than the rest, even burrowing into the victims, and the virus gradually heals each new victim and aches for more wounds to heal. An ever-growing wave of infected personnel rush through the corridors. Footage from a room a little further down shows 20 or 30 more synthetically strengthened soldiers, unaware of any of this. Meanwhile, outside the building, Wayland, the Superman and the receptionist are locking down the building.
Why's he got no clothes on?
I have no need for clothes. My skin has been reinforced with a type of organic neoprene, 60 times stronger than human skin.
Right. There, locked in. Now, there isn't any other way out of this building, right?
Asks Wayland, looking up and around at the relatively simple and square concrete building. Just then, an official crashes through a second-floor window, landing in a crunched-up heap beside them.
Shit, get him back inside, quick!
Oh my God, he's dead.
No, he's a zombie.
He's a zombie. You're Superman and I'm Jane Austen.
As Wayland desperately fumbles keys to reopen the building, two military guards approach them nervously. One trains his rifle on them, while the other calls for assistance.
OK, drop the officer, big boy.
This is Scott, Gate Security. We've got a man down out here.
Right, against the wall, all of you.
No, you don't understand. The building has been compromised.
Really?
He's waking up, sir.
Command isn't responding.
No, we've got to go. Shit. Drop him. Guards, we're leaving. You two should too if you want to stay alive.
You're not going anywhere, Sunshine. And why haven't you got any clothes on, soldier?
I've got my pants on.
That's disorderly conduct.
With extraordinary speed, the Superman reaches out and bends up the barrel of the guard's rifle before the guard can even react.
What are you?
I'm a Superman.
That explains the pants, then.
Two more officers smash through the windows of the third floor, landing on a concrete in horribly crunched up heaps. At the same time, the infected officer gets up and launches himself into the guard. His colleague opens fire on the attacker to no effect, as Wayland runs to the gates, followed by the Superman.
Come on, Jane.
What is that? Oi, put me down, you incredibly muscular brute.
Wait, don't shut the gates. Wait for me.
Wayland, the Superman, receptionist and remaining security guard, now behind the building's outer fence, can only watch as the three fallen officers and security guard come running at them, all with haunting smiles on their faces, but are detained by the chain-link perimeter.
I don't understand. I emptied a whole magazine into that guy.
That's nothing. You should see what happens when you put them in acid.
Well, they seem to be contained. We have to alert the authorities.
This is when the front doors of the building burst open, flooding the courtyard with scientists, men and women in suits and officers. Behind the chaos, somewhat less frantic, stroll out around 30 half-naked supermen, smiles wide across their faces.
Oh no, this fence isn't going to hold them, is it?
Asks Wayland, and the Superman curiously extends his hand towards the fence as if wiping away a spiderweb, to find the chain snapping as if made of solder. The 30 naked supermen now start to charge towards the fence. I fear more Skycam footage is needed to reveal the following events, and shall have to research further into my archives. I shall upload my new findings again here, and we'll find out what happens to Wayland and company next time on Before the Aftermath. Join us on Patreon and get emailed each weekly episode a day before it goes public. Even feature in the episodes as a zombie, or even a main character. Check out all the other rewards.
Click it.
Ciao.